Okay, hello everybody. I hope both GP and I are visible and audible. We decided थोड़ा unique सा session है. हम जल्दी आए हैं. We've done a little bit of number crunching. So we decided आज format थोड़ा change करते हैं. Smart board पे थोड़ा करते हैं. आप लोग को भी feel आएगी, हमें भी feel आएगी. So before we go there, just a confirmation that we're audible and visible. Just say one yes, hello, hi, anything.
Guys, if you can confirm, it will be easier for us. Then we can go straight into the session.
Even before the session, I can see so many. Hello, sir. Hello, say. I hope that we're audible.
Yes. Why? Okay. Thank you, Deepak.
Perfect.
Okay,
perfect.
Great. So, Gautam, let's get started.
So we'll keep this simple. Okay. What we have here is this morning through a जुगाड़ methodology. I'm sure कोई IT मस्त engineer होगा जो बैठा हुआ है बहुत टाइम से कि कुछ तो निकालते हैं, कुछ तो जुगाड़ निकालते हैं कि कैसे आएगा. There is a जुगाड़ that has come up whereby students are now able to go ahead and see the response sheet. ठीक है. अब ये response sheet आप देख पा रहे हो. इस response sheet के basis में now we've got a score calculator which is live on www.careerlauncher.com/cat. All you need to do is response sheet जब खुलती है ऊपर URL कॉपी कर लो, वो URL बस डाल देना है, उसके बेसिस में ऑटो स्कोर कैलकुलेट होगा. We've been doing this now for the last hour or so. We've got upwards of 10,000 data points already. We were waiting to get statistically relevant data points, ensuring that it is there across all three slots before we came out and stated something. You would have realized हमने अभी तक अपना percentile predictor जानबूझ के वहां पे live भी नहीं किया है, because you would have seen थोड़ा skewed है basis what some others are saying, and we did not want to do that. We did not want to overestimate or underestimate. But now that we've got a statistically relevant data set, we felt it makes sense to come out live, have a short discussion with you all, and then urge you all to go ahead and utilize the score calculator and thereby see your percentile predictor.
Yeah, see, one thing we did not want to do is कि जल्दबाजी में कुछ भी number डाल दो and trying to get eyeballs and then change the numbers later. So which is why, as Gautam said, we decided to wait for some time, get these many number of data points, so that we can give you a number which we are unlikely to change as we go along. Hopefully, we'll not need to change, but yes, data इतना है कि लगता है कि शायद कुछ change की जरूरत नहीं होगी. So Gautam, let's go.
So अब करेंगे क्या? Before we state anything, we actually want to showcase the data to you. Okay, अब ये data hopefully आपको दिख रहा है. अगर GP के बाद दिख नहीं रहा तो it's okay. We'll just move a little to one side.
Standard deviation.
Standard deviation is not important. You can ignore. But उसके अलावा everything, let's have a look at it. What do we have here? We've got CAT 24 slot wise. We've got CAT 22 slot wise and CAT 21 slot wise. We've got the average scores basis the response sheets that have been uploaded, which I keep repeating is upwards of 10K. Average score again for DILR and same for quant, and then the overall average. 2-3 important points, I think, GP, that we can see one thing very, very clearly. The easiest slot in 2024 is clearly slot 1. It is absolutely clear, something that we were stating that day during analysis as well, कि slot 1 versus slot 2 and slot 3 में अपने को difference दिख रहा है, और ये clearly यहाँ पे नजर आ रहा है कि difference तो है. Second thing to look at is, look at CAT 2021, the 3 slots, and you will see the easiest slot was actually slot 2, and the most difficult was slot 1, and slot 1 ka average was 55.4. Yeah, as more and more data comes, this is going down, so this is going towards this.
In fact, initially this was almost 58.
58, yeah, it was.
So as data is coming up, this is going down and down, and we think it is likely to end up somewhere at the same level as CAT 21 slot 1.
Or maybe a little lower, but it is surely coming here. On the flip side, start looking at slot 2 here. Slot 2, when GP and I, we started looking at the data and the team was looking at it, this was somewhere around the 56 mark. It has fallen by about 4-5 marks already. It seems it is going more and more towards CAT 2022 का easiest slot, which was slot 3, मतलब 48.9. हो सकता है इतना ना गिरे, but probably 50 के आसपास तो आ ही जाएगा. Right? So difference अगर आप देख रहे हो, बहुत clearly we've been looking at this data now for the last hour. We started looking at it when we had 300 data points. It's now moved to 10,000. But एक चीज clear है, slot 1 and slot 2 turn out to be the easiest and most difficult, और इन दोनों के बीच में difference of about 4 marks रह रहा है अभी भी. When we started off 4.8 था, now it is down to 4.3. तो लग रहा है by the time it ends, by the time, and 10,000 is very statistically relevant, उससे ज़्यादा change नहीं होगा. 4 marks का difference तो guaranteed है. And if you remember what we had predicted when we had come live, on CAT day, which is 24th of November, we had categorically come out and stated, GP, if you want to go ahead.
No, you can just write it down. I'll erase this.
We had categorically gone ahead and stated 99 percentile in slot 1. We had stated was 90 to 92 का range, right? If you remember, 90 to 92 का range हमने बोला था, 99 in slot 1, okay? And if you remember, Slot 2, we had come out and stated 87 to 89 ka range. And slot 3, we had said 89 to 91 ka range. So basically, it looks like we kind of got it spot on कि slot 3, slot 1 और slot 2 के बीच में है. And it seems more and more कि अगर आप ये scores देखो, वो between आने वाला है आपका 21 and 22 के आसपास by the time it ends. It's going to come between 21 and 22. And if we remember, CAT 2021 99 percentile was at about 97, and CAT 2022 99 percentile was at about 84. So 97 and 84. In दोनों के बीच में जब आप आते हो, you are coming to that 88 to 92 वाला sweet spot, and that is what it is looking like at this point in time. Which means, as per our data, this is what we had predicted on 24th November. As per data, what are we feeling now? As per data, it is looking like slot 1 ka 99 will be 91, exactly between 90 and 92, like we were saying. Slot 2 ka 99 percentile would be around 88 marks, which is again exactly between 87 and 89. And slot 3 looks like an 89 marks, which is again in the range of 89 to 91. So this is what it seems at this point in time. So few of you all are asking, ये average इसका मतलब क्या है? ये average का मतलब है average score across the 10,000 response sheets that have been uploaded. So अगर मैं slot wise ले लूं, say 3,000 each, so average score in VARC from the 3,000 slot 1 response sheets is 19.2, average score in DILR is 22, average score in QA is 14.7. So overall में ये लग रहा है. Before we move to sectionals, I hope everybody is clear about the overall part of it. Yeah, GP.
So I think the first thing which is very important for you to understand is this one. Yeah, I please not understand. ये चीज तुम लोग सबसे ज़्यादा important है कि 99 percentile as per us appears to be at this point of time. Slot 1 at 91 marks, raw score. Slot 2 at a raw score of 88 marks, and slot 3 at the raw score of 89 marks. Okay? We will be coming out with more data about 90, 80, and we'll give you the complete range from 0 to 100 percentile क्या scores है. But we thought it would be useful to let you know कि first cut पे ये clearly दिख रहा है कि it is slightly more easier than slot 1 easier than 22 and slightly more difficult than. So अगर doubt है तो दोनों के बीच में कहीं पे तो है.
Correct.
And if you look at this average is about 90. If I look at the 3 slots, the average is 90 out here, and the average is 97 and 84, and which is bang in the middle of these two. Exactly. So एक simple जो है rule of thumb अगर तुम चाहो, अगर तुम्हारे पास data है, you could even say A plus B by 2. This plus this by 2 should also be, but remember that will be an aggregate basis, that will not be slot wise.
Yeah. So as I speak, the team has just shared, we've hit the mark of about almost 15,000 at this point in time, which is 5,000 across slots, and the data hasn't changed a lot. So I'm guessing we are moving more and more towards standardization of data, and probably we won't see a lot more disparity. GP, before we move to the section wise, probably it might make a little bit of sense to look at 22 and 21 ka 80 and 90 percentile, sure, and then probably do a little bit of extrapolation. Sure. That might help a few students who are slightly worried about हमारा percentile क्या होगा. Sorry, just one sec. Yeah, this is what it looks like. If I have a look at 21 and 22, now look at these points. We've spoken about 99. I think the important point is going to be 80, because you know some of you all might be thinking कि मेरा overall 80 आएगा कि नहीं. And then moving to about a 90 and 95. So like GP stated, rule of thumb of average in between, we are not stating कि हर percentile mark पे वही average चलेगा of 21 and 22, but at least for now, till more and more data comes in, till we can give an exact, accurate prediction, and that we'll be able to do within the next half an hour. Our team is working on that. We've got a curve, a normal curve that has been created. We are using the exact formula that the IMs use for normalization and scaling. So we are going to give you your scale score and normalized percentile very, very soon, within the next half an hour to 45 minutes. But before that, so that you do not have to wait with bated breath कि क्या लग रहा है, ये लग रहा है. So if I'm looking at a 95 percentile GP, and I think 23, let's forget, not needed. Let's look at 22 and 21. 95 percentile, 60 and 71, probably around 66.
66, yeah.
66 के आसपास, if you want to
just like,
okay. So इधर इसके साथ ही लिख देता हूँ ताकि percentile wise लगे. Maybe about 66 to 68. Why am I saying? Because there are 3 slots. So again, slot 1 में हो सकता है वो 68, 69 हो. Slot 2 में हो सकता है वो about 65, 66 हो. So that's why we are giving you a range of 66 to 68. I am telling you that it will be basis the slot. Okay, that's why we are giving you a range. ऐसे लग रहा है. Okay, 90 percentile once again 48.5 and 59 looks more like a 54.
54,
55. So probably once again, let's give a range of 53 to 55. Again, do not come back and tell us, sir, ये 52 हो गया या ये 56 हो गया. Range दे रहे हैं अभी हम, extrapolation and intrapolation का एक क्लास ले रहे हैं अभी आपके साथ basis data sets.
Basically CAT में DI कैसे किया जाता है वो हम बता देंगे.
Exactly. Total proper वो चल रहा है, ठीक है. So that's what it seems like. 80 percentile in case some of you are looking at 40. I am just putting this number approximately 40. Approximate 40 के आसपास लग रहा है. This is what it seems at this point in time. Now, if you are hypothetically in slot 1, I would say look at the upper end and maybe upper end के साथ साथ look at a +1. If you are in slot 2, let me change the color for a second so that it becomes easier for some of you all. Yeah, if you are in slot 2, look at the lower end, maybe with a -1. That means if I am slot 2, it could be 65, 66. If I am slot 1, it could be 68, 69. I hope this part is clear.
And slot 3 को बीच का नंबर ले लो.
So slot 3 को exactly बीच का, like GP stated. अब वो बीच इस -1 +1 की जरूरत नहीं है, बीच का ही ले लो, एक ही बात होगी. Right? I hope you get that. GP 98 बहुत लोग पूछ रहे हैं. अब 98 के लिए डबल इंट्रापोलेशन होगा. पहले हमें यहाँ पे करना पड़ेगा between 97 and 98.
उल्टा लेके चलता हूँ. I'll just tell you. As far as 99 percentile is concerned, if you look at this कहाँ पे 83, 97 था ना? इसके अंदर
90 बोला हमने. We said 99 was close to. Oops, what just happened? Yeah, sorry.
कुछ गलत ले लिया.
One sec, give me a second. Yeah, pen हो गया. ये हो गया. Perfect. This should work. Yeah. So we said close to about 90 and we gave it 88, right? This is what we gave the range for a 99. In fact, अभी हम जब बात कर रहे थे 88 to 91 था actually, right? Because we were saying slot 1 could be actually 91. This was the range that we were talking about.
You can take it down by about 5 months or so. I would feel
for
the 97
for 98, right? 98 we are talking about. So probably 98. Those of you who are wondering, as of now, early estimates probably about. Oops, double आ रहा है. पता नहीं कैसे हो रहा है.
दो बार आ जाता ना.
Sorry. Yeah. Probably around 83 to 85. This is what it seems like at this point in time, maybe. Again, very, very tentative at this point. Now, I want to pick up a few questions here, GP. Probably you can start with that.
I think इससे ले लेते कमाल.
हाँ, because I think सबसे relevant चीज होने वाला है.
Will slot normalization reduce raw score? No, तुम्हारा raw score में कोई change नहीं आएगा. See, so when we are saying in slot 1, 91 पे you'll get a 99 percentile, and in slot 2 you'll get a 99 percentile at 88. The normalization we have done. So when you get a scale score, what the scale score will do is 91 को थोड़ा 90 की तरफ ले जाएगा, 88 को 89, 90 की रेंज में ले जाएगा. So a simple way to look at it, if you are looking at the raw score and what we are giving you is based on your raw score, you don't need to worry about the normalization. Okay? Because 88 in slot 2 is 99 percentile, in 91 in slot 3 is 99 percentile. So normalization हो गया, but जब normalization होगा, most probably 88 and 91, both of them will become about 89.5 to 90.
Yeah, and important thing, because some of you are asking raw की बात करें scale, हम खाली raw की बात कर रहे हैं अभी. Everything is raw, okay? यहाँ पे भी जो हम देख रहे हो, हमने इसको extrapolate करके raw के basis पे ही किया हुआ है, ठीक है? So don't worry too much about that. Points पे ज़्यादा मत जाओ. Don't worry too much about it, okay? So everything that we're doing is currently basis raw, okay? Range for 97. Yeah, you can just go ahead and do it on your own now. You've got a 99, 98 हमने बोल दिया, 97 के लिए probably 3
95 और 99 को
mid कर लो.
Mid से थोड़ा ज़्यादा.
Yeah.
So if I look at this is 22 ना, about
73, 74.
Yeah, 73, 74.
Yeah.
And this is again 16 का मतलब 10, 12 और ऐड कर दो.
Yeah, about 84 probably. 84 probably.
Yeah, 83, 84.
Yeah, something in that range. So look at it from that perspective. ठीक है? Got 90. So now everybody is talking about their own scores and asking मेरा क्या percentile आएगा. I think this should give you a rule of thumb कि क्या लग रहा है हमें कि क्या होगा. Slot 2 and slot 1 के बीच में, like GP, like we were talking about 4 to 5 marks का फर्क is what it seems like in terms of normalization, and which is why I said 99 के आसपास जो अभी आ रहा है 3 marks लग रहा है. So that is also an interesting thing, which is what the two of us were talking about. The difference at higher percentiles will be slightly lower. But the difference at lower percentiles might be slightly higher.
See, when you look at this paper, now, especially when you look at DILR and Quant, the issue was this was probably one of the very few papers in CAT, just in DILR especially, all 5 sets were doable.
Yeah.
So if you are very good, you will end up getting a 40 plus in DILR. If you are that 99.5 wale ho, so you'll be probably getting a 40 plus in DILR. But if you're something around 95 odd or 95, 97 range, you could end up at 28 to 30. So the gap between 95 and 99 this year, our estimate is going to increase because the goods, the 99 percentile plus are going to just pull up and go significantly ahead. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to pick this up, GP, because students are asking कि ये कैसे चलता है, which is sir, will a 76 in slot 1 become 70 in scale score, hence 95? See, scaling is dependent upon the college, how they want to do it. I'll give you a simple example. Basis what we have just seen, so basis what we have just seen, like I spoke about, you can see slot 3 is between slot 2 and slot 1. So slot 2 turns out to be the most difficult, slot 3 बीच में slot 1. One way of scaling could be slot 3 को standard बना दो, ये base बना दो. अब अगर ये मेरा base हो गया, तो मतलब जिसका 88 in slot 2 है, that should move to be equivalent to an 89 in slot 3 for a 99. So वो 88 might suddenly move to an 89 when I do scaling. Scaling में क्या होगा? 89 will remain 89 for slot 3, 88 will become 89 for slot 2, and a 91 will move down to an 89. This is one way of scaling. The other way could be नहीं, हम base ही slot 1 को बनाएंगे. अगर slot 1 को base बनाएंगे, तो both slot 2 and slot 3 का upscale हो जाएगा. So we will not want to go out and categorically state your scaled score will be the same as what we score. No, because scaling is dependent upon the base that the college chooses. Important बात ये है कि चाहे मैं base slot 3 लूं या slot 1 या slot 2, percentile तो सेम ही रहेगा, because base के basis पे सब change हो रहा है.
See, right now with the data we are sharing with you, please don't worry about scaling, because the moment we have said slot 1 91 is 99 percentile, slot 2 88 is 99 percentile, slot 3 89 is 99 percentile. It is as per your raw score. Okay, so scaling has been taken into account. So there are two ways. Either we scale them and get them into, but at this point of time, giving a scale score is a bit early. An easier thing for you to understand would be, अच्छा मेरा ये raw score है, इस पे मेरे को क्या percentile मिलेगी slot 1 में. यही चीज. So for example, if someone from slot 2 comes and says I will get a 91, I will say you will be above 99.1, 99.2 percentile. But if a same student is from slot 1 वाला है 91 बोलता है, मैं उसको 99 percentile बोलूंगा, slot 2 वाले को 99.2, 99.3 बोलूंगा. Okay, so please don't worry about scaling at this point of time. Okay.
Interesting. A couple of y'all, because I understand why 99.5 and 99.9 also becomes important, because calls are dependent on that. Yes. So we get that completely. So I think it makes sense for us to have a discussion on that as well, GP. अगर 99.5 ले, I think midway if we go, it seems more and more like 100, right? So we might have to give a range.
Yes. So if I look at this one, I will say from 99 to 99.5, you can assume a jump of about 9 to 10 marks.
Yeah.
Okay. So 99.5 is likely to be 88 to 91 बोल रहे हैं ना, so you can assume it to be about 98 to 101.
ये 99.5 पे आ जाएगा. ये I think 99.9 पे डाल दिया.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
This is 98 to 101. Roughly, this is the kind of range you can look at.
It might be 1 mark or 2 marks above as well, because we keep repeating at the higher end growth होगी. At the higher end बढ़ेंगे marks, because like GP was stating, there'll be students जिन्होंने पांचों set किए. And this is one thing which we'll talk about in sectionals when we go. We've not spoken about it, but DILR में humongous difference दिख रहा है as compared to previous years. So this is tentative, but I think both GP and I will agree there could be 1 or 2 mark it goes higher. This could even probably be 100 to 103 GP maybe.
Yeah,
it could go up.
It will easily go up. Actually, मैंने just इसका arithmetic ले लिया है. Given the situation, I think given what we think is going to happen, I would say this could easily be 100 to 103.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a conservative number. I think इसके आसपास पे आ जाना चाहिए है. Okay. Now some of you are saying, यार मेरा 99 है slot 1 में क्या करूँ? कुछ मत करो, GDP की तैयारी करो, and I hope you are taking that also.
Yeah.
And uske liye, and for those of you who have a good score and you're wondering, do I worry about GDPI or do I worry about kya kehte hain, ZAT and other papers? Those for ZAT, the only thing you need to do apart from what you have done so far is decision making and 6 to 8 mocks. So please remember, if you have got a good score, let me say if you are upwards of 75. Why I'm saying 75? Yeah. Because 75 means you are definitely going to be about 96, 97% or more, correct, which means you will start getting calls from good colleges. If you think you'll get a call from a college you would be interested in joining, you have to start preparing for interviews right now. If you don't start, you will suddenly find you may not have sufficient time to prepare. So please start preparing for that. Please start doing that parallelly.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just seeing Satvik ka score. Satvik, 106 in slot 3 is going to be fabulous. मतलब हम लोग जो बोल रहे हैं, हमें तो लग रहा था 103 which is slot 1 के आसपास 99.5 हो सकता है. आप slot 3 बोल रहे हो. 106 to me would be very close to 99.7.
Yeah.
So very very good.
So कुछ देख लेते हैं. Yeah. How do I download? यार download का सब सोशल मीडिया पे दुनिया भर में फैला हुआ है. Please check out there.
हमने भी अपने टेलीग्राम ग्रुप पे डाला. आई नो व्हेन यू आर डूइंग कंट्रोल एफ एंड डिजियामा वो मिल नहीं रहा. कंट्रोल एफ एंड https ट्राई कर लो यार. हाँ. कोई भी एक अदर वर्ड ट्राई कर लो.
एंड कुछ नहीं. ओके, व्हेन आई वाज डाउनलोडिंग माय थिंग, जब मैंने वो क्या कहते हैं कंट्रोल यू किया, पेज गायब हो गया. रिफ्रेश इट, मेरे को सामने आ गया. देन आई वाज एबल टू पुल आउट माय स्कोर शीट. या रिस्पांस शीट, सॉरी. सो रिमेंबर, ये कुछ लोगों ने निकाल दिया है. I don't think CAT wanted to because initially when I saw the message that score sheet out, I went to the CAT website, logged in, I couldn't find it. Then I realized कि कुछ और कहानी चल रही है. And as every year it happens, some techies decide कि हमें जल्दी निकालना है स्कोर CAT के से पहले. 26 पे 85 आ जाएगा अभिषेक.
Yeah. Actually, GP, probably now sectionals.
Let's look at the sectional one.
Sectionals might make sense. Yeah, this is I think going to be very very important at this point in time. So let's start looking at 24 vis-a-vis 21 and 22. Okay, now if we have a look at this, I'll just get the chat right down to the bottom so that we see the newest comments here. Yeah, we are back here. Okay, so let's look at this. Look at verbal. Now verbal very beautifully, just like the overall, is exactly between 22 and 21. Very beautiful this is. किसी को एवरेजेस अगर पढ़ाना हो, हम ये उठा के क्लास में अब एवरेज पढ़ाएंगे नेक्स्ट ईयर से. दिस इज ब्यूटीफुल. 20.3 between 17.2 and 23.2. इट फॉल्स एग्जैक्टली. द 18.6 वाला जो है यहाँ पे बस थोड़ा अलग आ रहा है. But if you look at this across slots, I think one thing is very clear. What is
important out here is when we look at these are plus minus 1 mark.
Yeah.
If you look at slot 20, slot 1 English versus slot 2 and 3, slot 1 is right in the middle, minus 1 mark and plus 1 mark roughly. And this is telling you the gap, the 3 sections of verbal in the 3 slots are almost the same level of difficulty. Yes, they can never be exactly the same. Hence, you will find that variation.
But just one thing,
just a second. Yeah, but that is going to be distinctly different when we discuss quant and DILR. You will realize how different this section is from the other two. Yeah, Gautam, back to you.
The reason I was stating is I want to recollect and get back to what Shivku stated that day during our analysis, that this is a beautiful paper. This is a proof of that. Just see, ये तीनों slot exactly कितने पास है. Look at 22 and 21. Look at this as an anomaly. 27.9 versus 22.3, a difference of 5.5 marks. Look at this, 23.3 versus 16.2, a difference of about 7 marks. This year, you don't see that. Which is why what Shivku stated that day, I think hit the nail on the head in terms of level of difficulty across the 3 slots.
Gautam, इस paper में, I remember this is one of the few papers where I marked the answers only of verbal. Okay, but normally I don't. In this paper, I had a raw score of 59 in verbal. That became 54.5. That is the extent of scaling which happened. I lost 4.5 marks due to scaling. Okay, so and that was
slot 3.
Slot 3 tha mera. I was slot 3. Okay, 50. In slot 3, I was 59. That after scaling became 54.5. It was still 99.97 percentile, but the understanding is the gap is so much that I lost 4.5. यहाँ पे between the raw score in verbal, between the raw score and your scale score, the difference is going to be maybe plus minus 1 mark, not much.
Okay. Yeah. However, DILR में this story suddenly changes. Just look at the difference between slot 1 and 2 and 3. अब इसमें एक पॉइंट ये भी आता है, शायद वो लोग ने सोचा हो स्लॉट 1 को सरप्राइज मिल रहा है, 22 क्वेश्चन थोड़ा इजी कर लेते हैं, कुछ ज्यादा इजी हो गया लग रहा है स्लॉट 1 as compared to 2 and 3. 2 and 3 seem to be very close, but slot 1 is a good 5 marks tougher, I would say, than slot 3. Slot 3 seems to be the most difficult. Slot 1 seems to be the easiest. 5 marks का difference है. And if I'm looking at other years, this is where it's probably the same. 5 मार्क का फर्क इधर, यहाँ पे भी अगर जा रहे हैं roughly we are saying you know about 4.5 मार्क्स का फर्क, यहाँ पे भी वही हमें दिख रहा है 5.2 का फर्क. So DILR perspective से it has followed the pattern of the last 2 years, but having said that, easily the easiest DILR that we've seen.
What has happened is the first slot ones were the ones who got the paper, and क्या कहते हैं paper आसान था, but when you look at slot 2, I would not say it was a difficult paper. Possibly because the way the data was given as slot 2, क्योंकि मेरा slot था, so I know there were 2 graphs that people would have been worried about. Those of you at slot 2, you would remember that two graphs which had those circles drawn. I know many people left it, but they were the easiest 4 questions. Another thing which was strange about that was the averages wala thing. And averages, I know many people struggle with. And that also graph meant you to apply allegation or do a few other things. So इसलिए हो सकता है इधर थोड़ा कम आ गया हो. But if I look at data set to data set, level of difficulty of slot 1 and 2 was not very different. I think यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा fear factor ज़्यादा आ गया था slot 2 में.
Yeah, I would agree. In fact, I am from slot 1, so I can speak, from personal experience. Slot 1 का फायदा ये था ना, first, and we always state this, first 4-5 minutes लेके सारे sets देखो. कि भी सारे सेट देख के ना पता है प्रॉब्लम क्या थी, किससे शुरू करूं, सभी इजी है. So the problem was different this time. And the reason I'm saying सभी इजी है, actually सब इजी नहीं थे. Actually वो Venn diagram वाले क्वेश्चन में जाओ, टाइम लगेगा. Look at Ravi, when he's going to go ahead and solve slot 1, he'll turn around and tell you उसमें एक कैच था, एक और सेट था जिसमें भी एक कैच था, लेकिन there were 2-3 absolute sitters, candlestick, if you've done a mocks, देखते you would have said ये मेरे को करना है. So that is where I think slot 1 में थोड़ा फायदा हुआ. Slot 2 and 3, I remember GP, you, Jiju and Shivku, everybody stating at least एक सेट था जो देख के लग रहा था शायद थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. Slot 1 में ये नहीं था कि देख के लग रहा था यहाँ पे कहीं पे थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. I think that advantage was surely there.
But this is a huge gap. If I look at this one, from here to here, this is a huge gap. 22 to 16.
Yeah, humongous, about 5.5. Now, if we go back and start looking at it from the perspective of quant suddenly, see what it is. Quant again now is between verbal and DI. यहाँ पे एक मार्क का फर्क था, यहाँ थोड़ा ज्यादा फर्क है. What we see here is now suddenly slot 3 turns out to be the easiest. So look at what is happening. Look at what is happening. And I find this very interesting. VARC में easiest slot 2. DILR में easiest slot 1. Quant में easiest slot 3. So every slot is suddenly coming in and stating मैं एक तो easiest देने वाला हूँ. So which is why I keep repeating. I think बहुत beautifully set paper है इस बार. I don't know whether next time ये हो पाएगा कि नहीं. Normal curve में बहुत ही beautifully बैठ रहा है. So if I'm looking at it from a quant perspective, looks like a difference of about 2.5 marks. Slot 1 versus slot 3, which is the and when I start looking at it from slot 2 to slot 3, so most difficult is slot 2. There's a difference of 3.6. And I'll come back to what GP and Jiju were stating that day. ये लोग ने आके उस टाइम बोला, I remember GP coming and stating, ये 23 से probably 1 to 2 questions easier है, उससे ज्यादा नहीं. And I remember Ravi and me coming out and stating, ये 23 से probably 3 questions easier होगा. And I think वो difference हमें लग रहा है, एक question का फर्क clearly आ रहा है. GP.
हाँ, so इसका जो था, my first thing was this is exactly like 23, maybe plus minus 1 question, but उससे ज्यादा फर्क नहीं है. ठीक है, and when look at this 13.5 versus 14. Tells me that clearly. Okay?
Correct.
The issue here was, I'm possibly repeating myself, the question was not difficult, but they were lengthy. Okay, so they were what Priyanka had said. They are 2 layered questions. एक काम करो, last year उस सवाल पे आंसर मिल गया था, but now उस आंसर को लेके you have to do a second round of work. So it was lengthy questions. They were all doable, and which is what probably was the issue out here and not in slot 3.
Yeah. So if some of you all are thinking हम नीचे क्यों देखते हैं और कैमरा पे नहीं, हमने यहाँ पे रखा हुआ है चैट बॉक्स ताकि हम आपकी स्पेसिफिक क्वेरीज आंसर कर पाए. तो नजर बहुत बार नीचे जा रही है, ठीक है. So don't worry too much about it. ये कोई कॉर्क शीट नहीं है, कोई एग्जाम नहीं चल रहा. We're just trying to go ahead and have a look at your responses and questions. Okay, so I think more or less we've gone ahead and covered everything. We've spoken a little bit about scaling. हमारे अनुसार कैसा चलेगा. Slot 1 versus 2 versus 3 looks like slot 1 is going to turn out to be the easiest. and slot 2 might turn out to be the most difficult. From a sectional perspective as well, I think we've seen very clearly each section across every slot, there is going to be one section which will turn out to be the easiest. The good part in today's analysis and after the response sheet is, I think it is very clear that if you went by what we were stating, you had a fair idea of how your CAT would have gone. And I'm hoping that over the last 3-4 days you've already made a shift depending on how मेरे को लगता है मेरे अच्छे कॉल आएंगे तो GDPI practice या shifted to a Snapchat. If you haven't already, I want to once again just remind you, you have 1.5 days to go for ZAT. 30th is the last date. Please do not miss it. Abhi bhi 1.5 दिन है. I will say this is a blessing in disguise. You know exactly where you are. Even if you are one of those जिसको लग रहा है 120 130 आएगा, मेरे को 99.9 आएगा, SAT लिखना है. XLRA का कॉल भी चाहिए. It is at par with ABC and ISB. Do not miss it. And if it's not gone that well, you anyways want a ZAT because you want to get into the top 5. GP, I'm quite sure you would agree with me. Do not miss out on this. Please go ahead, use the next 1.5 days ZAT ka form bharo. Don't miss out.
Yeah. So if you have to prepare for that, I just wanted to be very clear about that. Whatever we have done for CAT is absolutely useful for that. The only thing which is different is decision making. Please do that. And in addition to this, what you need to do is do about 6 mocks plus 6 old ZAT papers.
Yeah.
So it is effectively 12 papers and decision making that you need to do, and you are good to go. But as Gautam said, XLRE Jamshedpur is at par with ABCL. Okay, ABCL, XL, FMS, Bajaj are in the same league. Please do apply here. And I have known students who got a very high score in ZAT, in CAT, but could not convert or did not get a call because of other consideration like profile, 10, 12 marks. Remember, ZAT gives you interview calls based essentially on your score in ZAT. So XLRE will give you interview calls based on this only. Secondly, apart from XLRE Jamshedpur, you have a very good institute called XLRE NCR or XLRE Delhi. At the worst, you will say it is definitely above MDI. If someone has to choose between MDI and XLRE Delhi, I will blindly say MDI छोड़ दो, XLRE Delhi जाओ.
GP, if I might, I think MDI का इस बार हम लोग को एक caveat add करना चाहिए कि last year वो लोग ने जो mess up किया, उसके वजह से there is a possibility number of seats up for grabs might be lesser.
Yes, unless they increase the number of seats this year. So but if they increase the number of seats this year, then placements 2 years hence might be
affected. Which means one of the two things. Either the cutoff could increase because they want to call lesser people because they have lesser seats. If they increase the number of seats, then placements 2 years down the line, we don't know. So I would say, I think we could probably do a session on this.
We can do that.
But just keep that in mind.
But context क्या है भैया, exactly apply कर दो, अगर नहीं किया तो अभी भी time है, मेरे को भी वैसे apply करना है. I will do it, but remember my career is not that strict, yours is. Okay, so you need to apply for it definitely.
Just one thing, GP, if I might want to add in ZAT is, CAT में vocab and grammar नहीं आता, ZAT में वो भी आते हैं. और वो 4 मार्क ना, मेरे को तो लगता है वो 4 मार्क पॉकेट में लेके आप जा सकते हो because 10-11 कट ऑफ होता है VALR का. So I would say it is CAT plus DM plus that. Do not think हमने बोल दिया CAT plus DM तो इसका मतलब मैं vocab नहीं करूंगा, grammar. यार, understand what we are trying to state. Overall, हम लोग एक generalistic picture दे रहे हैं, हम nitty gritties में नहीं घुस रहे.
NMAT and Snaply, you would have done vocab, grammar, and other stuff you would have done.
Correct.
Okay, so which is why to me essentially it is 12 papers, 6 mocks and 6 last 6 years papers of that plus decision making is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Okay, and decision making play you have DM 1000, you have ZAT classes. You can do either of them. Or you can prepare on your own, but please do it. Remember, you have more than a month available to you for that. So, उस पे बिल्कुल compromise मत करो. Secondly, the other challenge which many of you will have, you have got a good score. Let's say you are 80 plus, 70 plus, you are 100 plus, whatever you think at your score, you are likely to get a call from an institute you would like to join. Boss, please start immediately. Remember, unlike your written test, CAT, ZAT, etc., where at least math, English, reasoning कुछ तो किया होता जिंदगी में. Unfortunately, when it comes to the interview process, most of you are either not exposed to it at all or exposed to it in a very superficial manner when you are sit for your placements in your college. Okay, but that is insufficient. The earlier you start for your GD interview preparation, the better of you. It is essentially interview now. Some in college have GD, but by and large it is interview and written assessment test or that. Okay, so please start preparing for that immediately. Don't wait for the calls because calls will come sometime in January. and which will give you maybe about 2 to 4 weeks to prepare, which is insufficient. Please remember this part. Okay.
Two things I want to add here, guys. I've just put a message from VS Fury, which mocks to take. कहाँ से लूँ यार? CL के mocks लो. I don't want to stress more on it.
यार ये तो कुछ पूछने वाली बात ही नहीं थी.
I don't want to stress more on it, but I'll make it very clear. The way you saw us analyzing CAT, every single mock of ZAT will be picked up like that. The ZAT, we've got 8 mocks, 8 pros, 8 flexi. 4 pros and 4 flexi. The 4 pros will be analyzed exactly like we did for CAT. We are going to come every once a week, come on YT Live. We are going to discuss that paper, analyze it. There's going to be GP Jugaad videos. There are going to be video solutions for every single section. Don't miss out on that. So mock test तो लेने ही है. उसके साथ I'll go back to what GP just stated. इसके साथ साथ 2017 to 2024 के ZAT के papers uploaded है like mocks. Take them as well. 8 plus 8, 16 mocks. You got roughly what? About 35 days to go. 35 days, 16 mocks. We're talking about 1 mock every 2 days. लेना ही है. आप अगर snap लिख भी रहे हो ना, snap से पहले भी कम से कम 2 mock ZAT के तो लिखने हैं. Don't turn around and state, मैं 8th के बाद देखूंगा ZAT या देखूंगी ZAT. 25 days, 27 days. I would still say at least 1 or 2 mocks. Write it. Know where I am. That's one. Number 2, our ZAT online classes product is live. The intro session is today at 9:30 p.m. I'm taking it. Catch me there today at 9:30 to 11 as we go ahead and discuss about ZAT in detail. You can go ahead and enroll in the program right now. Please go ahead and have a look at the chat box. The team is sharing the link as we speak. DM1000, some of y'all are asking. DM1000 is also going to be launched. It will be launched hopefully by this Saturday, if not by Monday. So you can go ahead and enroll in the same as well. So all of these programs are there. Lot of sessions are there. We are going deep into ZAT exactly like CAT, and we between the two of us and the entire career launcher team, we can't stress enough. ये मत मिस करना. साथ साथ लेकिन अगर आपका like GP was stating 75 plus expected है general, OBC में 65 plus expected है, SC ST में अगर से 45 plus expected है, please go ahead and kickstart your GDPI VAT preparation. मतलब PDP तो एकदम तुरंत kickstart कर दो. Okay? Yeah.
ठीक है, and we'll come back again. We'll give you the sectional cutoffs also.
Yeah.
सब डालते हैं कि in each section what is the 80 percentile kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And so give us some more time and we'll come back to it. But I think it is important to let you know that the basic 99 percentile कहाँ पे आ रहा है. That I think was important for us to let you know. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll stop here and we'll come back again.
Just one last thing. www.careerlauncher.com/cat. If you haven't already, go ahead, upload, just put the URL of your response sheet. As we keep getting more and more data, while we've been taking this session, the data points have almost doubled, which is great. It will help us give more and more accurate prediction. We are going to come out with our expected percentiles today itself, probably within the next hour and a half. Please keep looking at that space. It will give you a better idea of what to expect.
Yeah.
That's it from us.
Then.
Catch you again very soon.
Yeah.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.